silent movie at the moment. It's not a game of charades. We seem to have lost the sound on that video, I'm afraid, Marcel. We're going to try and work that out by the end of your presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, not too sure what happened to the connectivity there. I apologise for that. But ladies and gentlemen, Marcel Thiele from Koppert Cress.
Hello, chefs, ladies, gentlemen. Yeah, I'm really glad to be here. And in the next, hopefully 30 minutes, I will pick you up a little bit and tell you a little bit more about functional things from special side, which is called the plant-based side. But first of all, I need to smile as well from that stage. It came up in the morning that I have to do something with you before I start my speech. Please, everybody from you have ears here, yeah? And thanks, Alois Gasser. Where's Alois Gasser? Thanks to that, I will like to do one thing what I learned from you. You have your ears and you have your hands. You're working with your hands and you're listening to me. So please, at first, rub your ears from down to up and up to down, and this 3 times. Please do that, everybody. So one of the following things, if you do it on the right way, then you will feel something is going to happen here in your head. And I need you, because the next minutes, I will maybe pick you up to show you some different point of view. And the reason why I'm wearing the white jacket is not that I'm certified a master chef. No, it's also a sign for you, because you are all wearing the white jackets. And I would like to remind you first why we are wearing the white jackets. Some of you know, but maybe some of them not. So please think about that. Why are you wearing the white jackets? Do you know that? That everybody can see what you have done in the kitchen, like beetroots and something else? No. The first thing is that you have to realize in your brain, you received this jacket as a kind of honor from the doctor's side. Okay. You can start with the presentation. The chef's jacket is one thing that we are wearing very proud in the kitchen, and we are responsible for nice things what we are doing. It's called Gastronomy. We are all working in that part of hotels, restaurants, bistros, catering, and so on. But do you know the translation of gastronomy? Gastro means the stomach, and nomos means the law. It's Old Greek. Not every chef knows that, but it's very important, first of all, to understand what we are wearing, where we are coming from, and we just received this white jacket if we prepare the food in the right way. It means not only to work like a baby with different ingredients in front and paint on the plate. You can do it, but at least there needs to be a concept. What are you doing? And that's also the reason why did we start to eat that. I'm known as a Spicehunter, and I have discovered more than 75 countries all over the world right now. But what drives me forward was to go deeper inside the culinary heritage, the culinary culture from all the people, how you are here. And but the most important question is, why did the people started to eat something? It was not because of it's fun, it's nice, it's colorful, a perfect texture. No, it isn't. The reason behind is something more than we have to catch in these days. Again, more and more to understand what exactly are we taking from the ingredients to use it. So these three things have to understand at first, and please tell that to every chef in your kitchen and in the rest of the world where we are coming from. And we have the wonderful job in the world, by the way. Ingredients match when they have important aroma compounds in common, but at least it's called food pairing and so on. But I don't like to go much more deeper inside that, because there's a world of existing ingredients and flavor combination out there. And if you understand that let me say, the gastronomy is the roof. And under this roof, you need three pillars to be stable in that way. It means one pillar is the first, I don't like the word trend, yeah? But the first thing that we have done in the kitchen was to find all the ingredients from all over the world. And it's quite good, it's nice. But the second pillar is the technologies. We find out what we can do with the products, how can we prepare it, how can we cook it, and so on. But the most important pillar from that building is the functional thing behind, and that's where I like to go more deeper. The incredible trends and extreme movements that you can see in these times are just reactions based on that what has happened in the past. It means if you take a look at different countries where exactly you are coming from, and I can say this with the words from Europe, there are some people who are going more into vegan, vegetarian, paleo, and all these different pikes that I call it, because if you have the whole food heritage and all the food what you are doing and all the trends, you have also in the past bad things gonna happen with the food industry. So they serve us also, or they bring us also products which is totally bullshit. I'm so sorry to say that, but we need also the other side. And if you have some bullshit ingredients, sorry for these words, then the reaction from the guest side is much more in the different way. So it means they are a kind of revolution, rebels, and so on. So the extreme movements, what we need in these days is not a revolution, is not to be a rebel in the kitchen. We need a new one, it's called evolution. And evolution means we have to remind of our old recipes from our countries, from our places where we are living. And think about the recipe from grandmother, all these totally simple things. Bring it up in the next century. And there is one thing what I'm thinking all the time, and maybe you agree with me, accepting the pastries, the chef doesn't copying the recipe one by one. Or if you know a recipe and you understand and think it's quite nice, are you copying that in 100% what the other chef is doing? No. You bring your own emotions inside, you work with your heart, with your spirit, and maybe some things and trends out of your own kitchen, but at least you are following a principle, not a recipe. And that's also a thing what you have to do. And the great guideline in these days is to follow a green guideline which is called 80-20 evolution, and it means at least 80% on the plate, in the menu, or just in the menu, should be 80% plant-based food and 20% maximum animal-based food, but in the highest quality which is possible. It means we are talking about sustainability. We are talking about how to fight against food waste and so on. These are just reactions which are happen in the world, and we need to do something against that. But first of all, if we are thinking about the future and our own children and so on, we are all together here in this room. We are responsible for everything what we are doing. And if you like to go more into the future, listen to the next generation. 80% have to be plant-based and salt reduced, sugar reduced. And it's quite so simple. Let me explain just a kind of a green guideline. I created a signature dish which is called Mother Earth. Just to know the respect. And Mother Earth, I would like to explain a little bit what exactly is that. If you have a plate, a bowl, a spoon, however, doesn't matter, you have to place, for example, in the bowl, at first, harvested vegetable which is grown under earth, like asparagus, potato, beetroots, whatever. You pick it up, you mix it, blend it, make gel out of that, puree, ragu, or whatever, doesn't matter. Then you place it in the bowl, and then you cover that with edible earth. What could it be? Edible earth. Earth is not really edible. But you can roast it, some black bread, pumpernickel, roasted seeds, and some different things. You can cover that, and it looks like an earth. And on top, you just replace there the things which is the perfect food pairing to that what is harvested under earth. You place it on top, which match perfectly together, like vegetables, microgreens, some little nice flowers, and so on. And at least it's just one simple principle and not a recipe. And if you are from Canada, for example, yeah, and then you're working with your own ingredients that you have. If you are from Australia, you can work with your ingredients that you have. Wherever you're coming from, seasonal, regional, you can put inside everything what you like. But the principle is the same. And this is the newest, I don't like the word trend or hype or whatever, it's an evolution. We have to go this way. We have to change our point of view. And the only thing what I like to say is also, and yes, I'm working for Koppert Cress, an incredible company which selected all the products from the world which are edible with fantastic aroma, flavor, and so on. And we give the chef the showcase in our Cresperians, in the only edible jungle in Europe that we have, and the Cresperians with a nice Maltini in the middle. All the chefs are coming in, and we have 450 chefs in total per week, and week by week over the year. And they're discovering all these things. They're selecting, they are wondering and say, oh my God, I don't have a clue what is edible. You have leaves, they taste like brie camembert, for example. But the thing is, if they selected one thing, then we just give them time and space to grow. So it means at least all the products that you've seen are selected by the chefs. And I've never seen a company before who is doing exactly this. And this is also a nice honor to us as a chef, that a company is just based on that what the chef is thinking. And if you see that, it's just an example. This one is a nice microgreen. And normally, let's say, you make this, put it on the plate, say, wow, looks nice, it's a nice flavor, decoration, but this is more. Just an example, I had this discussion with a chef in Switzerland, and he was wondering, because this one is a part of a kind of assortment, and he was saying to me that he don't like this one, And I asked him why. And he said, yeah, because of the taste. It tastes like wood after rain, forest after rain. You say, okay, nice. But if you have this one, you can cut it. You make an oil out of that, a heat and color stable oil, which is called tahun cress. You can make a tahun oil out of that. Heat and color stable. It's a perfect match with everything. It normally based, we found that in Asia, but it fits perfectly also in the Alpine cuisine in Europe. The chefs are excited about that, what they can do with it. And at least it's also part of the calculation, because if you just selected that on the plates, maybe roughly you reach 20 plates. But if you cut that, if you blend it, mix it, make 200 or 300 milliliter oil out of that, color and heat stable, then you reach 50, 60, 70 dishes. And this is important for us. But what exactly I'd like to say is, take a look at not only this, every plant-based food. Mix it, blend it, freeze it, dry it, dehydrate it. This is a new experience. In the past, during my education as a chef and a master chef again, I was wondering, because we are just sitting in the classroom and waiting what the teacher is telling us. And I was totally different, let's say like that. I was wondering and say, no, I have the question. I'm sitting here, I like to learn. And I have the question to you, what can I do exactly? And I was wondering and said, oh my God, I just have one answer for you. But that drives me crazy. One answer is never ever enough. And this should be also your thing in your brain. And please tell that to all the chefs that you have around you. This is much more important. And if you see all these products, and this is logical, an example from Koppert Cress. If you see these things, maybe one more example. This one, believe or not believe. What you can see here is a green leaf. It's nice, it's good. You can buy it, no. It smells incredible, but just one simple explanation for that. This is a green leaf. You can catch out of there two colors, green and what? Red, perfect purple red out of the green leaf. If you know the plant, if you know the DNA, if you know how to use technologies in the kitchen. But also you can separate 3 tastes out of that leaf. If a chef is going there and saying, okay, I bite in that, and you say, whoa, cinnamon, vanilla, and you smell eucalyptus, nice. It's a cardamom leaf, by the way. Yeah. But if you prepare that in different ways, you can separate 3 different tastes. I like to do it. I just give you one. It's just one, ladies first. Just smell it, yeah? Because if you eat that, you have to destroy it, the structure. But it smells like cinnamon flower, like vanilla, eucalyptus, cardamom at least, yeah? But if you take a look at the functional options that you have in your kitchen, you can separate it. You can mix it together, for example, with sugar or without, and leave it in the fridge for 2-3 weeks. And later on, you put it out, you take a look at that, you smell it, and you're wondering, because it tastes and smells like ginseng. Ooh, nice thing. Ginseng on the fish, for example. Other ideas, yeah? But if you're extracting also the color out of that, then you receive a wonderful red. But this red is a taste of sandalwood. Whoa, it's just a green leaf. Believe or not, you have to try this out. It's just an example, but if you take a look at all these different things, please don't accept at first this is just decoration. This is the pure power out of the nature. And we have to respect this source to get it inside the kitchen, to give it back with the white jacket, remember? with responsibility, sustainability, and all these things around back to the guests. And they would like to say, thank you so much. Because it's not only the taste. The body says, wow, at least. And let me shock you a little bit, by the way. We are humans. We are people. If you are drinking, and I choose a bad example, you know the lemonade, the black one, I don't like the word. That's what I don't like to say. You don't have it on the table. You know the black one, yeah? And there are bubbles inside and lots of sugar. If you drink that, and also others and teenagers and so on, they are happy, they love it. I hate it, by the way. But if you drink that, you have so much sugar inside and all the bubbles, they irritating your mouth. And your mouth is a detector which allowed you to bring food, at least, or things inside your body. At least it's yours, yeah? But if there are no bubbles inside, and you're drinking then this black lemonade, then the body say, stop immediately. This is too much sugar inside. Listen to that, what the body is saying. Our brain is a baby, but our body is an educated professor. And this is much more important. Let me say, I'm working as a chef, but just 3 years in the past, I've never worked as a chef, just in the other kind of way. I was a part of the Navy, and I'm traveling around the world also at first on a ship, and on a warship. And at least there's one man on board who have everything is in his hands. It's not the captain, it's not the first officer, and it's also not the doctor. It's the chef. He have it in his hands, not only the food, he have the action and the reaction, the communication, the health benefits, and the remember to home with recipes, and at least, and the most important thing, emotions. And if you smell on this kind of products and you buy it, for example, on a citra leaf, you remember the taste because you're walking over the greens as a child, yeah? And you know that a child under 9 years have a totally different view and totally different possibility to taste. The bitterness comes later. That's sometimes also the reason why some little children don't like, don't like them. But at least it reminds you in the time where you're not been anymore. And if you are tall, old, however, if you are an adult and you remember this taste, you say, oh my God, I am in heaven. And these things are giving that back to you, yeah? And I can feel it here right now, if you can see it. It feels like that. Give that emotion to your guests, to your chefs, and work with that. This is powerful, this is future. And also listen to the youngers. Listen to the young chefs. They need to be perfect educated, but not only in the functional, in the knowledge and so on. They need to be educated also in the skills over here. About the passion, about emotion, and the big why behind, the reason. Think every time about that. We are not the doctor, but we receive this jacket from that side. So that's also the reason why I like to say freeze it. This is also one of my signature dishes with this cardamom leaf. This cardamom leaf there is just a symbol inside. But what is that exactly? It's cardamom, it's pineapple, it's cucumber, and a little bit vinegar, which is in the small peels inside, and a very, very old a pear, which is fermented, dried, And the nice thing is, it's just a pear, but it tastes pure like chocolate. The best chocolate that you can find if you bite on that, for example. And it's plant-based. Freeze it, pulverize it, bring it, work with that. If everybody likes chocolate, for example, this is a brownie, but this is with coffee lime leaves. The pastry know what's going to happen with chocolate and sweet flavors, but if you reduce the sweet flavors and you bring some freshness inside, it give you a wake-up call. And maybe one more example is we have a special flour in our Koppert Cress assortment, which never ever forget a chef. It's the Sichuan button. You know that? The little tiny one. But let me tell you a little bit the story behind. We found that product, that's special nice flour, which have an electric taste. No, not taste, effect on your tongue. But normally, the chefs are coming to us and say, oh, wow, I know that. I bite on that and say, oh, it's Camille, no? No. Oh my God, what's going to happen? Something is going on in my mouth. But at least you have to understand the product. One flour is enough for 60 dishes. 60 dishes, one flour. And what is the reason behind? And now the question, why did the people are starting to eat that, for example, in Madagascar or in South America? And if you ask the people there, and I was there, and I was a little bit wondering, because they say, okay, yeah, we eat quite a lot of that. Because of why? Yeah, it's tradition. It's tradition. It's a nice answer, but what is tradition? It's tradition because you eat it all the time. But what was the reason why you start to eat that? The reason behind was this was the only natural-based thing which protects you against malaria inside the blood. You can read it in the internet, everything, all this reaction. But this was not the point where the chefs are saying, oh, I like to have this one. The thing was, the people are eating that together with a chili. And if you bite on the chili, it burns your mouth. But together with this special flour, the capsaicin inside the chili goes in the backside, and all the fruitiness comes out of that plant. And we accept how it is, but if you ever have tasted a chili with a separated capsaicin, with it already inside, but a little bit more in the backside, incredible, yeah? The chefs are wondering and working all with different things. Instead of chili pepper, they are working with wasabi, with ginger, and so on. And this is incredible what's going on there. But at least, what is going to happen? If you blend it, mix it, freeze it, dry it, you can make everything with just, for example, this little flour. But at least, if you bring it inside a special dish, it pimps you up with freshness. What's going to happen on your tongue? There are taste papillars, and they're making like this. And then you have the separated space, which is normally not tasting, but they are able to taste. And then you feel 20 times more the taste inside your body. It's like a wow effect. Cover it. Also again, think about the things, if you're looking in a restaurant, in a hotel, beef tartare, tuna tartare. Tartare is everywhere. Yeah? You can say tartare. But at the end, we can bring it also in the next level. You can't reduce a meat tartare with the 80-20 principle. You can. You just have to reduce a little bit the portion, give it a little bit more respect, what you are serving, and bring it inside the leaf, for example. I've done that in the past, and some chefs were wondering, I know that leaf, this is the shiso leaf, but what are you doing? I'm making a nice tartare, put it inside the leaf, cover that with the half of the leaf, and then I mix it on top a dehydrated powder of beetroot and matzo bread together. The fruitness, the freshness, the crispy one is everything is inside. It's a wonderful feeling. And if you serve that, it wake up emotions to your chefs, to your guests, and at least they are talking 2 years about that event, what they receive over there out of your kitchen. And that's your goal, that's your target. You have to wake up your guests as well, and you have it in your hands. Maybe you remember, if you have done this at first, this is just the action. But then you feel everything is bundled here, so you smells better, you taste better, your views better, and if you have in the last night a little bit pain in the brain or something else, in course of some reasons, it's bundled and you're focused. It's perfect. You can do it also if you have a situation where you have to decide this or this, make it, you're focused and you're doing every time the right thing. Listen to that. Freeze it, dehydrate it, cover it, infuse it. This is an example as well. Think about the reduced sugar and think about all these caterings and or if you have some groups inside, they're making a conference. We have water on the table, for example. But this is also water. You know the cold extraction. What is a cold extraction? Yeah, it's cold extracted. So if you cut, for example, just 1 punnet of Acina cress and put it inside 1.5 liter water, from the first minute you have the taste inside. And if you reduce the bottle or empty the bottle to the half, you can fill it up again and again. 12 liter at least for 24 hours. And with the same taste, but no sugar. Water with taste. And some hotels, for example, from the wellness side, they find it like a green guideline. Okay, wow. My guests receive that at the reception. Later on, they see it in the room, in the spa area, in the restaurant, and later on the bar, in the bar with some other things inside. Infuse it. Dry it. And this is one example. One small, and I have to say that, one small punnet with these Sichuan buttons, and we have 30 pieces inside, is enough for 2,500 of this baiser, meringue drops. And one meringue drop is enough for one dessert. You just replace it around what you are bringing on the plate. It doesn't matter what exactly is there. And if the guest is biting on that, he don't feel like electrified on the tongue. It doesn't tingle in your tongue, let's say like that. But it helps you to pimp up all the freshness. And if you see that you have a fresh raspberry on top, it feels like a kid, like a child. You know what I mean? If you eat that as a child, and the first time you say, oh my God, wow. And later on, you're growing, you're an adult, and then you're wondering, it's not so intense as I eaten as a child. Why? 2,500 desserts from just 30 pieces of Sichuan button. Blended. It means that also not only to blend it, to mix it, also to bring it in a nice showcase, or like from the food pairing side. Dehydrated. This was the example from some flowers and leaves. Just if you see it and take a look at the jasmine flower, normally a good chef is using the jasmine flower to transport this special taste. But at least you don't have to use the whole blossom. If you put the blossom on top, then the guest realized, okay, it's jasmine, it's nice flavor. But if you destroy that, if you blend it, mix it together, make it completely, just focus on the ingredient and what is inside. It's the full power and packed of virgin, powerful taste inside. Discover these natural sources again. Freeze it. This is also a simple sign to that. This is a pastis top on top. It tastes like sambuca, let's say like that. If you smell it, you smell nothing. If you bite on it, say, whoa, what's going on? Yeah? So please take a look at that, mix it, blend it, freeze it, dry it, combine it, and you also can discover some vegan oyster leaves, salty fingers together, all these things, and it wake you up, and yeah, at least when time is over. So please take a look at Koppert Cress and remember my words. Thank you,
Marcel.
for being here.
We have a video to finish off, I believe.
Yeah.
A video.
Just one last movie, please, with sound. It's the 1,000 Dishes movie. Please take a look. It's just 30 seconds. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, well done. Thank you, Marcel Thiele, and to a small token of our appreciation given by our Secretary General, Madam Cornelia Bellino. Thank you, Mr. Murray. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, a bit of in excess this morning. Lots of Australian music there, Neil, I noticed. Been paying people.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, one more round of applause for Marcel Thiele from Koppert Cress.